Okay, y'all, we are going to get started on this gingerbread house ornament. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our hoop, and the two pieces should be together, but if you'll just hold on to the bolt here and then loosen it up, you can pop this out, and then you're going to make sure that this is at the top. Then you're going to put your piece of fabric, try to center it up. It really doesn't matter if you have it this way or that way or this way. Just make sure that it's centered up as much as possible so you can have even overage all the way around. And then take your smaller hoop and press it into the larger hoop. Okay? And then you can just kind of pull it taut all the way around. This can be tricky if you don't push the hoop at the same time because it could pop the hoop out. But you just want it to be kind of nice and tight. And it is, it feels good. So tighten this back up. And it will continue to loosen up as you work with it. And all you do to tighten it back out is just pull the fabric while you're pressing on the hoop at the same time. So, all right, the next thing we do is we want to get measured or mark the center of here because we want to start the design from the center and then work our way out. So, this is a 4x4 hoop. So what you're going to do is you're going to measure about 2 inches across. Then you can take your needle and put it. It doesn't have to be exact. It just needs to be around the center. And from top to bottom, you want to measure 2 inches. That's pretty spot on. So if you don't have a water-soluble marker, that's totally fine. You can use maybe a washable marker and just do a very small dab. But the center I'm going to mark is right here. Okay, then we're going to thread our needle. We're going to determine where to start and so what color we're going to pull. All right, these lines here mark the center of the design. So this is the center of the design. Since there are all these diamond shapes, I'm going to look down here. There's that diamond shape. We're going to start with color 321. Which is this one, that you have it already cut out. You can start with one of your strings, but what you will find out is that there are 6 little tiny threads in this one string. Okay, you do not need all 6. You only need 2. So, a little trick to separating them will be just try to find one single one. Okay, there's one. Okay, so I'm going to pull this string, but I'm going to hold on loosely to the other strings. I'm just going to continue to pull up. And it's going to pull out. So then I will straighten this back out and do it again to get my second string. Here it goes. So I'm going to loosely but somewhat tightly hold on to all the other strands because you want it to be able to come out. You don't want to hold it so tight that it won't let your string move. And then straighten it back out and save this for the rest of your design if you need it. So take your 2 pieces and line them up. Okay, you lined them up, and then just kind of smooth them out all the way down. Okay, then you're going to thread your needle. You can lick it and then stick it through. Or if you have a needle threader, you can use that too. Okay. Want to leave a little small tail. See how it overlaps a little bit. You don't want your tail too long, but you want it enough so that your thread doesn't easily come off of your needle. Okay. So what we're going to do here, okay, so I want to start right, here's my center, so I'm going to go over 1, 2. I'm going to start here on this square, and each one of these squares lines up. You can see how these have squares too. Here's a square. Here's the next square. There's 4 corners, you see? It just goes all the way through the fabric. All right, so here was my center, so I'm going to go over 1, 2. So I'm going to start from the bottom. And I'm gonna, here is where I was. Okay, so I'm gonna go over 1, 2, and this is where I'm going to start. I'm gonna pull my thread up, and I'm gonna flip it over so you can see the back. It's coming through, but you don't wanna pull it all the way through. You wanna leave a little tail. So hold that tail down. Okay, flip it back over, and you're going to go across. So you're going to go into the hole that is diagonal from the hole you just went through. Okay, it's just literally diagonal right here. It's a little fuzzy, but anyways, put your needle in. Pull it from the back, still holding on to your little tail on the back so it doesn't go anywhere. And after you're tight, you're going to go into that top of the square right there. It's just right beside the one you started with. Okay, so pull. We'll flip it over, because you want to secure your thread. So before you take it all the way tight, what you want to do is take this little thread, pull it up through this other thread, this little loop that you've created, and pull it. And you'll see how that locks your thread into place. So it's tight, and you don't have to worry about it coming out. So now you're going to go to the hole that is diagonal to the one you just came up through. okay? It's hard to see because this thing is having trouble focusing, but it's an X. I mean, you are literally just making X's in all these boxes, okay? So if you look at our design, right where we started, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to do 4 going this way, okay? We just did 1. So I'm going to go to the very next square. Sometimes it takes me a minute to find my square. We're going to go, and it's actually, it shares holes with the ones you just did because it butts right up to it, okay? So go up that one, pull it tight, not too tight, just pull it till it's tight. Put your needle into the hole that is diagonal to the one that you just came up through. Okay. Now we're going to go to the top right corner of your square. Wish I could get this thing to focus a little better, but okay, see? Okay, pull that up. And you're going to cross over to that diagonal. Okay, so that's 2 squares. We said we wanted 4, so we're going to go back to that top left corner. Cross over diagonally to the next hole. Go back up to the right corner of that same square. And then cross over to that diagonal. And we have done 3 squares. Okay. Go back to the top left. Diagonal. Top right. And the diagonal to that hole. So a bunch of four little X's going all the way across. And that is this whole first row right here. So now I'm going to scoot down here and I'm going to go 4 this way. So I can't go, I just ended in this hole right here. If I go back into this hole, my thread is going to come loose. And so I'm going to start here this time into the top right corner, I think. I think that's what I did. Yeah. And there's no right or wrong. I just prefer to start in the top left corner when at all possible. But like in this situation, that wasn't possible. Okay. So still go to that diagonal, the whole diagonal to the one I just came up in. Okay. Top left. Let's see, where did I go? Top left one, there we go. And then go into the whole diagonal from that one. Okay. So that was this box here. Okay, so I've got 3 more to do. So now I can go back to my top left and it'd be fine. Okay, pull up. And then go into the whole diagonal to that one. come up through the right, top right corner. And you'll feel if you're in a hole or not, and go to the diagonal one from that one. Because if you're in a hole, the needle will go through much smoother. But if you're not in the hole, there's some resistance there. Okay, top left again. And Aniston actually prefers, and then diagonal. She prefers to start from the bottom and go up. So there's no right or wrong. It's just a personal preference. Top right corner. And then the diagonal hole. Oops, it's definitely not the right hole. Sometimes it takes me a minute to find it. Especially I'm looking kind of weird through my phone. Top left. Go into that diagonal. Okay, go to the top right. Trying to feel for if it easily goes through you. Okay, and you see what I'm saying about diagonal. This one right here, diagonal to the one I just come up in. You are literally just doing X's, crosses, crossing over each other, okay? So now we have done the first 2 rows of our pattern, okay? So now we're gonna work here. I'm gonna show you, this one is a different color. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this one, and then we're gonna skip this one, and then we're gonna do these 2. Okay. Go to the top left. That was actually the wrong one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right back in the same hole I just came through, and it will just reverse it. So now I can really come through the right one. Okay. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, so I can't start here in the top left corner because this is the one I ended with. So I'm gonna come up on my top right corner. You see that? And that happens often. I just have to know that and start in a different hole. Okay, so I came up the top right. All right, I'm going to go into the hole that is diagonal, which is this hole right here. Okay. Get in the top left corner of that square. And then the diagonal. Okay. And you're going to skip this square because this one is the one that has the different color. It has the color change. So we're going to start here in this hole on this square, top left corner of this square. Okay, go into the diagonal dot. or hole. Sometimes my fabric gets in the way. Just push it to the side. And then top right corner. And they're going to cross over to the diagonal hole again. See? And that's all you do. If you run into that and it's not the same color, you just skip over it. As a rule, I think I watched a video and it said, don't like skip around too much. I think within an inch, you want to stay within an inch. Like I wouldn't skip if I ended here. I could easily skip right here because this is very, very close. But I wouldn't want to end here and go all the way up here and start because that's too far away. So this is all the, so if you go all the way down here, see how you got this red up here still, all these diamonds, you would not stretch your thread all the way up here. You would just cut your thread here, or, you know, weave it in, and then do the same thing, start here, and then work your way up. And you could just skip over here, do this one, and then skip up and do this one and this one, because they're very close together. Okay, let's say we have done all of our red down here. Well, how do you close it out? Well, if you're done, I'm just going to finish this last little piece right here. This was the last square on that particular row. Okay, say you have done the whole door, okay? So you're just gonna flip it over. You're gonna take your needle and your thread, and you're gonna try to kind of weave it in up underneath. Not going to the front of the design, but just putting it up underneath these other threads to kind of lock it in so it won't come undone. Then you would take your scissors and you would just clip it like this. And you just have a little tail. The design won't be pretty from the back, but it'll be beautiful from the front. So the main thing to understand is that each one of these each 4 holes represents a square, which is in this design. So if you can understand that, every time you start a different color and every time you end a color, it is the exact same steps. You do the exact same thing over and over and over. And the more you do it, the easier it'll be and the faster you'll get. If you have any other questions or if you get stuck, let me know.